Hey, I am making some tomato basil soup and thought I would jump on real quick. I just take for granted how easy this really is. And in order to try to get everything in here, it's hard for me to get in there too. But I just want to show you guys really quick with this Deluxe cooking blender how easy it is. Basically, whenever I have leftover tomatoes that need to get eaten up, I will make soup. I do it all the time. And I just want to show you guys how easy it is. Basically what I do is I just take whatever leftover I have. Today I have some leftover grape tomatoes and there's a Roma tomato in there. And I put those in the blender with a 1/4 cup of vegetable broth. There's a 1/2 of a large onion. I just cut that in half, so it's like 2/4 of a large onion and a giant tablespoon of garlic because I absolutely love garlic. And then I'm going to throw in there this can of fire roasted tomatoes. They're already diced up. It gives it a nice spicy flavor as well as some of the extra juice to make it nice and soupy. I've had a few people ask me about how the can opener works, so I thought I'm just going to jump on, show you my soup, show you how the can opener works. It's super easy and I love it because it creates a smooth edge around the top of the can so that you don't accidentally cut yourself if you end up having to handle or touch the top of the can. But it also removes the lid so you don't actually have to touch the lid. Let me show you how that works. It lays flat on top of the can. The edge of the can goes in between the two gear mechanisms here. So you just put it on the can and like any can opener, you just twist it to take off the lid. There, I don't know if you heard that click, but that tells me that I got all the way around the edge of the can and it cut off. So I'm just going to take the handle here and turn a 1/4 turn backwards to release it. And there it pops off the can. And then on the side of the can opener, on the edge here are these little teeth. And this button on this side moves the teeth. And then you just use those teeth to grab the edge of the can and lift the edge up. And then you can take it, throw it away, so that you don't ever have to touch it. Now I'm just setting it down here because I'm a little far from my can opener, or from my trash can. But that way you never actually have to handle the top of the lid at all. And then it creates a nice smooth rim around the top, just to minimize the odds of you cutting yourself. So I'm just gonna dump the tomatoes in and then I'm gonna let it get started. And what's gonna happen is the blender will start to process this down. And as that gets processed down, so there's more room in top, I'm gonna throw in some leftover vegetables that I have. I've got some celery and broccoli left over from the other day. So I'm gonna throw those in there too, just to kind of add a little more nutrition. But the blender, there you go. It tells me, see if you can see it, it tells me here lid to let me know that the lid is not secure. The machine will not run unless the lid is locked in place. And when I put the lid on, you'll hear it make a noise. That sound tells me that the lid is locked in place, and when you move the lid, it makes that sound again to tell me the lid's ajar and the machine won't work. You can't turn the dial, it won't work at all if the lid is not securely engaged. The same as if it's not in place on the base properly. It makes that noise and it won't engage until it's secured back on there properly. But it's super, super easy. There's a soup setting on here, and so I'm going to turn the dial to the soup setting. It takes about a 1/2 hour to make the soup. What it does is it heats it and I just lost my train of thought. It heats up the ingredients while it chops them down. So you don't even have to finely chop everything. Like I said, I just cut the onion in half and then cut that half in half and threw it in there. These are whole grape tomatoes. I don't know how well you can see them. And the same with my odds and end pieces here. Like this is the end of the broccoli, or the end of the, broccoli stalk. There's some celery stalk pieces in here too. And so like I said, once this gets processed down a little, I'm going to throw those in. And then when it gets to the very end of the cycle, it'll say add ingredients. And at that time, you can add extras if you want, like cheese. Cheese is really good in here if you got a nice sharp cheddar cheese. I'm going to put basil in it today because I like the tomato basil. But here, let me turn it on so you can see it work. You know, you just push the button in and then it's going to get started. See how it just processes everything, chops it all up while it's, at the same time it's heating. It's kind of hard to see and I don't want to tip it while it's cooking, but you can see that it's heating. It's heating as it cooks. And And so since it's already starting to process it down, I'm going to get the rest of this ready to just dump in there. And then it will automatically just cut these things up and cook them down while it does the rest of the soup. All right. There we go. It'll do that a few times until it gets up to temperature and until the pieces are finely chopped, and then it will shut off and let me know when it's finished.